Greetings. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the Prophet of Allah. There are endless proofs that he is the Prophet of Allah. We cannot finish counting them. If we only look at the Arabian Peninsula in this regard, if we bring to our minds the fact that he took away their customs from that observant people in the Arabian Peninsula in one swoop, and built the highest morality in place of their ugly customs, and equipped them with high morals, we can see the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Even today, if we take thousands of our people, if we take thousands of philosophers, thousands of thinkers, if we go to the Arabian Peninsula, we can see that what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did there, what he did in 23 years. We can't do 1,000th of it in 1,000 years. He is a prophet sent to us by Allah. Not everything about him is extraordinary, but everything about him is proof of his prophethood. If everything about him was extraordinary, he could not have been a perfect example for humanity. He was a prophet who ate like a wolf and lived like a wolf, and as such he is an example for all our lives. We know all the details of the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Why did Allah inform us about all the details of a person's life, and why did he open the way for humanity? We know every detail of his life, from eating, to going to bed, to sitting, to getting up, to smiling, to turning to people and talking to them with his face turned in their direction. This means that Allah Jalla Jalaluhu has sent him to us as a complete example. He is the most beloved of humanity. He is the most compassionate, the most merciful, and the most sacrificial of humanity. He never took any credit for his own self. He was never selfish in his whole life. If he was not a prophet of Allah, there would be no reason for a person to be so self-sacrificing. But there is one proof of his prophethood that even Satan cannot say anything in the face of such a proof. You can be wrong about something for 3 reasons. You can be wrong about something if you are looking at it from a distance. If you have a bad eye, you can be wrong about it. You can be wrong if you look at it for a moment. So someone can introduce a firefly to you as the sun. Is that possible? It is very difficult, but how is it possible? Maybe if you have a bad eye, maybe if you looked at it from far away, maybe if you looked at it for a moment, you can mistake the firefly for the sun. So did people look at Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for a moment? No, they looked at him for 63 years. We know his whole life from his childhood. Were the eyes of the people who looked at him defective? No, the people who filled the pulpit after the prophethood did. People who took humanity by the hand and led them to Tawheed, to faith in Allah. The Prophet Abu Bakr looked, the Prophet Umar looked, the Prophet Osman looked, the Prophet Ali looked, the people who were glad tidings of paradise looked, and more than 120,000 companions who believed in Allah through him during the time of our Prophet looked. It is impossible for so many people to mistake the firefly for the sun. The eyes of these people were very sharp. They looked at it very closely and did not look at it for a moment. If one accepts this possibility, one is accepting this. So someone was a liar. He was like a firefly. But he introduced himself as the sun. He illuminated the path to heaven. If you can give this possibility, those who looked very closely thought that the firefly was the sun. If you can make such a thing possible, then you can make it possible that the people who looked at Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, were also mistaken about him. If such a thing is not possible, then there can be no doubt about his prophethood. There are thousands of other proofs of this.